Unfortunately, in recent years, my mother stopped leaving the house. Now, just for fun, since you graced me by coming today, let's have a little fun with this. Another quiz. She stopped leaving the house. What do you think the problem was? Multiple choice. A, she had a wooden leg. Any takers? No. B, she had a serious crack problem. Anybody? No. C, agoraphobia. Yes, yes, very good, very good. More candy, here it comes. Agoraphobia. My poor mother had an agoraphobia, which is an anxiety disorder where people are just too nervous to leave the house. Apparently it started around 9/11, which shattered so many people and hurt so many lives. And for her, it just made her so anxious she could not leave the building. She could get as far as the lobby to check the mail or do the laundry, and back upstairs. She could not go on the sidewalk outside. It was terrible. But I didn't find out until recently. My parents were very private, very proud. And they didn't tell me, didn't ask for help, even though I'm a psychiatrist. My father simply compensated for it by doing all the errands himself, right? All the errands. Which brings us back to our story. My poor father. Now it's January 4th. The next day, right? I'm going to go back to the psych emergency room, see how Dad is doing, and hopefully bring him home. Go to the psych emergency room. Dr. B is long gone, and the doctor on the next shift is Dr. No names, no last names. Let's call her Dr. C. And actually, C is the perfect letter for her, if you know what I mean. You obviously do, yes. Good for you. I'm so glad you're here, guys. I'm telling you. This would be torture without you. Dr. C goes like this, I swear. So, Ellen, what do you want me to do with your father? And I want to say, you're the doctor, you decide. And she points to a room where my father is on a stretcher, right? Sound asleep, snoring. And she tells me that he got a shot of Ativan, the most common and popular anti-anxiety medication. And he's sleeping now. And I notice his gown is wet. Why is it wet? I realize he's urinated on himself. And I call Dr. C over, help me change him. And she comes over, and we sit him up to change him, but he doesn't wake up. Isn't that strange? He doesn't wake up, even though he's practically vertical. I say to her, what did the EKG show? And she goes, oh, Ellen, we couldn't do the EKG. He refused. I said, well, he's out cold now. Now's your chance. I'm creative that way. Well, you know what a normal EKG looks like? Something like this. You've probably seen them or had them. His EKG looks like this. What the heck? The nurse takes his pulse. It's 24. She takes his blood pressure. It's too low to measure. We rush him immediately to the intensive care unit. They start doing CPR on him. He stopped breathing. They put a tube down his throat. And they hook him up to a breathing apparatus. He's not breathing on his own. He's practically dead. Dad! Dad! I call home. Mom, you gotta come in right away. And she starts screaming, no! The doctor says he had a heart attack, probably caused by the Ativan, which made his blood pressure drop. Fortunately, thank God, he stabilizes, he wakes up, they move him to the medical floor. But in the middle of the night, he wakes up, he panics, he's agitated, he pulls out his IV, and the night staff give him a shot of...
Ativan.
A, tequila. B, vodka. No. C, Ativan. Unbelievable. There you go. Where are you? Let's see you. There you go. Who else said Ativan? Nobody else. Here, have one anyway. I'm so glad you're here. Here, how about you? They gave him a shot of Ativan. Can you believe it? It's like they didn't even read the chart. I could not believe it. They had to stick a tube down his throat again, intubate him, bring him back. Thank God he stabilized again. The next day I go in and I put signs all over his room. Allergic to Ativan! Allergic to Ativan! It's like Ativan wallpaper. Oh my God, Dad. Now, let's fast forward. It's now March 3rd. About 2 months have passed. My father's scheduled to come home in 3 days. 3 little days. My mother hasn't seen him in 2 months because of the agoraphobia, but they've talked by phone. They have been married for 61 years. They're each other's best friends. My mother is so thrilled that Dad's coming home in 3 days that she buys a brand new bed, a brand new mattress, a top-of-the-line, pillow top, Posturepedic mattress, costing thousands of dollars to replace the one they've had since 1967. I have been begging her to do this for years. I said, come on, Mom, live large, I'll pay for it. But now she does. She buys this magnificent mattress. She's so thrilled. She's looking forward to seeing Dad in 3 days. But on March 3rd, something astonishing happens. Just for fun, and to share more candy with you. Would you like to guess what it is? Okay, here are your choices. 3 choices, okay, you ready? A, what astonishing thing happens? A, my son decides to give up video games and devote himself to algebra. No takers, okay. B, I meet a man and have sex for the first time in 6 years. It could happen. It could, hypothetically. Or C, something even more unlikely. C, yes, it's C. Just our luck. On March 3rd, I call my mom. Just want to make sure she's making some progress getting a home attendant to be home when Dad comes home in 3 days. So I give her a little call. And a man answers. Hello? I'm sorry, I think I have the wrong number. I'm just trying to reach my mom. Adelaide Weinberg? Yes? Who is this? Officer D. Is she all right? No. She passed. Your sister's here. I'll be right there. Drive safely. I drive to their apartment. I get to the apartment. Their front door is off the hinges and lying on the living room floor. And I look through the door and I see a man sitting at the dining room table. It's Officer D. And he's sitting in my mom's favorite chair. And this is so surreal. I feel like I'm in a bad dream. I keep wanting to wake up. I go in and there's Officer D. Yeah, babe, I'll have to call you back. Yeah, hi. Your sister's in the bedroom with you, Mom. I have to stay here till the body's removed. It's New York state law. They don't allow the body to remain just for family. That's probably a very good law. And I go into the bedroom, and there is my poor sister. She's in absolute shock. She's snapped. And there is my mother's body on the bed. That brand new top-of-the-line Posturepedic pillow top mattress that she spent thousands of dollars on. Turns out she's the only one that would ever use it. And there is her body. Her lips are blue. Her nail beds are blue, and her arms are like this. Rigor mortis has set in. My younger sister has snapped, and she says to me, Ellen, in your heart of hearts, do you really think Mom's dead? I should tell you she's a registered nurse and should probably be able to contribute something to the assessment. She explains to me that she had called Mom and didn't get an answer. She came over, knocked on the door, no answer. So she called 911, they broke down the door, and she found Mom in a chair, arms like this. In a little while, reality sets in, and my sister says, I guess we have to call Fresh Pond. And Fresh Pond is the name of the mausoleum where my parents had arranged long ago to one day be cremated. And that's a terrible name, a weird name, because it's not fresh and there's no pond. So I call Fresh Pond. They want $3,000 to pick up the body and do the funeral. So we'll split it, okay? And my sister says, no. And again, I hear myself say, look, I'll put it on my credit card and we'll split it, okay? And again, she says, no, no. And I think about all the times I paid for things and she never paid me back. And I hear myself say, well, I'm not paying for it either. And then the medical examiner arrives. And it's a woman, a perky blonde. Now, I'm as feminist as anybody else, but somehow I never expected the medical examiner to be a woman. I mean, I know that little girls dream of growing up and being a ballerina or a movie star, but who wants to examine dead bodies? Well, anyway, she's a perky blonde with a lot of confidence. And she arrives, and she's clearly very confident and competent, and she loves her job, but I find that a little annoying. And I say to her, what do you think happened? And she said, she examines my mother and then she says, probably a cardiovascular event. That's a funny word, event, right? I mean, it has such a positive connotation. There are event planners. But nobody planned this event. They should call it a cardiovascular disaster. And I say, well, how long do you think Mom's been dead? And she goes, judging by the rigor mortis, I would say 8 hours. But if you want a more accurate read, we can use a rectal thermometer. And I say, okay. And my younger sister explodes. You want to put a rectal thermometer in Mom? When you die, I'm going to do that to you. As you can see, we're very close. And I hear myself say, if you don't shut up, there are going to be 2 dead bodies in here. The medical examiner says, okay. And she arranges to have my mother's body transferred to the city morgue. And she goes through the door without a door, and she calls over her shoulder, sorry for your loss. Now, fast forward, long story short, my poor father, he was just going to come home in 3 days, but now we have to tell him that Mom has passed. He is crushed. He becomes so depressed that he cannot be discharged, and now he has to go into a psychiatric hospital. And they try all kinds of medication to stabilize him, to help him sleep, to help him not be so depressed, so angry. And for a while, he seems to be doing better, and then we get a call. On June 22nd, he was found dead in his bed.